Hello, I am Myung-Hwan Cho, CEO of WorldVision Korea. I stand before you today as the President and CEO of WorldVision Korea. But I was once a sponsor child. I was born in 1956, 3 years after the conclusion of Korean War. My parents, who had fled from the North Korea, were 22 and 21 years old at the time. Living as a refugee in South Korea, where remnants of war still lingered, was an arduous struggle against poverty. As a family of refugees, we were also very impoverished. I became a sponsor child. My first sponsor was Helen Nelson from the United States. She supported me for 3 years before passing away from cancer. Before she passed away, she left a will to her younger sister, Edna, asking her to continue sponsoring me. This is how my relationship with Edna began. Edna has sent me baby formula, clothes, toys, and other items. Starting from one day, she also began sending me a letter with $15 every month. She always asked me the same question. Myung-Hwan, what is your dream? I told her that I wanted to be a firefighter and then a baseball player. It changes every time. She responded to my story sincerely. Yes, you are going to be a coolest firefighter in the world. Yes, you are going to become a greatest baseball player in the world. Thanks to my sponsor, who asked me about my dreams every month, I was able to envision a bright future for myself. Among my many dreams, I have finally achieved my ambitious goal of studying in the United States and becoming a professor. The determination and hard work towards my long-held dream enabled me to overcome numerous obstacles and eventually turn it into a reality. After completing my PhD at the University of Arizona, I returned to Korea and joined Konkuk University as a professor of biology. As a visiting scholar at Stanford University, I conducted research on HIV and AIDS. Furthermore, I graduated from Harvard Kennedy School. And I also studied blockchain and business at the MIT Sloan School. As the president of AIDS Society of Asia Pacific, I have dedicated 20 years of my life to reduce the impact of AIDS epidemic in the region. Without my sponsor, I would never have been able to accomplish it. I would like to share an incident that brought me one step closer to Edna. When I enrolled in university, I believed I was mature enough to communicate with her directly. So I asked her for her address, which may have been embarrassing for her. If you write in English, I will give you the address, Edna replied. I desired to communicate with Edna directly, so I put in a lot of effort to learn English. 6 months later, I wrote her a letter in English. Finally, Edna, the sponsor, and her sponsor child, Myung-Hwan Cho, were able to communicate directly. That was when I first discovered that my sponsor resided in St. Paul, Nebraska, USA. I was unaware that my sponsorship would end once I turned 18 years old. At the end of the sponsorship, I asked Edna for her address. I believe she gave it to me because she wanted to maintain our connection. When I turned 40, I realized that Edna was 99 years old. Instead of just exchanging letters, I was eager to meet her in person. When I was studying abroad in the United States, I tried to visit her. However, she kindly refused my visit. Therefore, this time, I did not inform her in advance. Instead, I simply took the address and went to the sponsor. As I arrived at the Omaha airport in Nebraska and rented a car to head towards St. Paul, my mind was filled with various thoughts. What if she doesn't welcome me? What if there is something wrong with her? Am I being too selfish by following my heart without considering her thoughts? Not long after I arrived in front of Edna's house. The house was a charming, two-story rustic white cottage. I knocked cautiously on the door, and Lillian, her sister, came out, and I calmly explained the situation. Lillian led me into the living room and informed Edna, who was on the second floor, that her son had arrived from Korea. I thought she would welcome me in quickly, but she didn't come down for 30 minutes, an hour, or even an hour and a half. I couldn't understand why it was taking her so long. My heart was pounding with anticipation. Is she upset because I came to see her all of a sudden? Even though I think it's too much to make someone wait for a long time. I came all the way from Korea. The expectation suddenly turned into frustration and sadness after 2 hours had passed. I thought it might not be the right time to meet her. I looked up at the second floor one last time before deciding to just return home. Suddenly, I saw Edna standing on the second floor, as if in a dream. It was the first time I had seen Edna in 40 years. When I saw Edna, my mother, I always referred to her as Mom. I could immediately guess why she had taken 2 hours to come out. She was a 99-year-old woman who had difficulty moving independently. She spent 2 hours taking a shower, getting her hair done, applying makeup, and putting on earrings and necklaces to greet her son who had come running from South Korea. She must have been dressed in a coolest clothes, white trousers and a red top, her hands trembling. Despite having difficulty walking, she wore red shoes to greet her son. It was the moment when I met the most beautiful and dignified woman. After 40 years, I finally met the sponsor whom I had missed so much. It was an unforgettable week, the best of my life. In 2001, 5 years after she met me, my mom Edna went to heaven at the age of 104. What is remarkable is that she had been sending $15 a month and letters to her 45-year-old son, Myung-Hwan, until she died at the age of 104. I have told her several times that I'm a professor and I'm old enough to take charge of my life and family, and that I don't need $15 anymore. But she wanted to. I couldn't understand why she continued sending me $15 every month for 45 years. Even after I became a university professor and no longer needed it. It was only after working for WorldVision that I realized the reason why. I believe it was a message to live a life dedicated to helping children in need from this point forward. She will always live on in my heart, and I feel her presence as I run alongside children around the world who need help. I will cherish the love and support I have received from Edna for the past 45 years and use it to help children in need. Just like I once was. In Khalil Gibran's book of poems, The Prophet, it is said, adults are bows and children are arrows. Children ask adults for help so that they can become arrows and move forward vigorously. Arrows can never fly alone. You need a bow to shoot arrows. Edna was a bow to me. Won't you be the bow for the children? As the president and CEO of WorldVision Korea, the fact that I was once a sponsor child and mom, Edna, are always alive and present in my heart, motivates me to work alongside children around the world who are in need of help. It is because I would not be where I am today without the sponsor who loved me passionately and generously. Even in the present time, children in numerous challenging situations around the world are forced to abandon their dreams and live their lives. If you show a little bit of interest, children can have dreams and grow into individuals who can make this world a better place. Thank you.